Hey everyone, I'm Daddy Warbucks, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something that's been requested on my stream and requested from friends and people in my Extra Life Guild. I'm going to talk to you about how to create a stream overlay, and just a little intro to this. I am not a creative person. Like, I'm not very talented when it comes to graphic design and things like that, but I wanted to learn how to do it because I stream and I wanted to be able to create these graphics for myself. And so I kind of watched some videos. I learned how to do it. So this video is going to be more or less just a kind of everyman's guide to doing this thing. All right. It's not going to be overly complicated. It's just kind of be like a starter's guide. And then as you use the program and experience it, you'll become better and probably even more adept at doing it than I am. I did create this little graphic that my camera is in. I will talk about how I did that, but I'll also talk about, I'm going to talk about two things primarily. I'll show you how to create this more simple one that I have here that you can use in like a variety of games. I will also show you how to make an overlay for a specific game. And the example I'm going to use Diablo 3, but you can apply this same technique to any game, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, whatever it is you're into. With that being said, you're going to need, first of all, some kind of program in order to edit these files. Photoshop is great. If you're a rich person and you bought Photoshop or pirated it, that's awesome. Me, however, I'm going to be using GIMP. This entire video is going to show GIMP, and that's because it's a free program. It's something that I think it's fairly easy to use. So anybody who watches this video can go just Google GIMP photo editing. You'll find it. It's free. It's great, and you can follow along 100%. So download GIMP, and then we're gonna go with the I already have that open. I'm gonna delete this out later. Discard. Alright, download GIMP, and then what you're gonna have to do first is open up a game, any game, and then take a screenshot. And then once you have that screenshot, you want to open it up in GIMP. So here we go. I'm gonna open GIMP. There it is, 2.8. It's probably updated well beyond that point, but 2.8 is what I have. And then when you open GIMP, it's just going to give you this screen here, and you're going to need to click Windows, and you're going to open your toolbox, and then you're going to also go to Dockable Dialogues and hit Layers. You're going to need both of these things in order to really do this. After that, you're going to need to locate your screenshot. I have mine right here on the desktop, and I would recommend that while you're doing this whole process, you're going to want to save stuff to your desktop just so that you have it easily available. So I'll click Open. I'll click D3 Screenshot, and then there it is. There's my D3. Okay. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open Google, and let me find Google. You're going to want to open Google, and you're going to want to type whatever your monitor resolution is. Okay, mine is 1920 by 1080, so I'm going to look up 1920 by 1080, and I'm not 1080p. What is that? 1080 textures. Okay, and you can look up whatever textures, wallpapers, graphic, whatever search you want, but you want to find images like these that are just kind of repetitive, kind of have something in them, pattern or whatever. And you want to pick one that's going to be relevant to you on your stream, your style, your color, whatever one you want. Okay? Like, as you can see, this is the internet. There are millions and billions of pictures that you could choose from, and they could all be really cool if you use them and you apply this technique that I'm going to use. I already have one, though, so I'm going to close that out because I already have my texture, and you can see it in this little graphic here that I use. Is the purple and black with the bars. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open that up right now. Pictures, OBS, textures, purple and black. There's my texture. Okay? And the first thing that you want to do is you're going to go here in the layers box, and you want to right click and you want to select new layer, and there it is, 1920 1080. You always want to double check and make sure that your width and your height and width are correct, because if they're not and you end up working in the wrong resolution, then when you port it into OBS, things will be skewed and they won't line up correctly. 1920 1080 transparency, and then you see I've got this transparent layer here above my texture. I'm going to right click again and merge down, and that may not seem like it did anything or was very important, but it takes that texture and it makes so that when I start cutting stuff out of it, it's going to now be transparent. Okay, so now we're ready to begin. I'm going to click on my screenshot. I'm incorrect. I'm going to click this eyeball here to hide the texture, and I'm going to look at my screenshot, and what we want to do here is we want to start cutting away pieces of the image, leaving only the things that we want left to see. Okay, so I'm going to take my handy dandy square tool. In my inventory here, I want all that to be displayed on the stream. I want people to see what I pick up. I want my buffs here to be seen, because that's important, and I want them to be able to see my buttons, my cooldowns, and my health and mana. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to start at the very top of the image. I'm going to remove the largest. I'm going to remove the largest portion that I do not need, and let's say that's about there. And then here we are. We're working in the purple and the black. I'm going to hit delete. So now that entire section on the purple and black is gone. See, that's all that's showing. And that's what we want. After that, I'm going to continue cutting away portions of the layer so that we can see, like right now, remember I said I want my buffs to show. And let's highlight that section. And we'll go ahead and we'll move that over. When you're working in GIMP, you see this dotted line. As that line is there, you see as I'm moving my cursor, there's yellow boxes. Those yellow boxes are like the outlines of the area, and you can click and drag those to change the section that you're going to cut. So I'm gonna, it doesn't matter how tall it is because we've already cut that out, and I'm gonna move those over so they're just like right there and right there, and then make sure we're working in the template. Always want to make sure you're working on the template and not the screenshot. Deleting the screenshot is not going to do a damn thing. Working on the template, we'll hit delete, and then we'll see it again. So look, there's my buffs. You can see my buffs, and this right now is the template of what we have. So far, so good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start selecting my cooldowns, my abilities, not my cooldowns. Working in the template, delete. Hit my next button, and this is kind of fine. I'm working, very slowly, very carefully. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Pro tip: plus is zoom in, minus is zoom out. Very, very useful hotkey, because I find myself zooming in and out very frequently when I do this. And you're just gonna highlight your buttons, hit delete. As you highlight over them, remember I am still working on purple and black on my texture, not on the screenshot. That's why nothing is happening. Highlight, delete, highlight, delete, highlight, delete, highlight, delete, and then I can even do it on these keys. Delete, highlight, delete, and why not? We'll show my latency too, just to show you how fine you can get with this. Delete. So now showing my template, look at that. So now here it is, there's my overlay. It's blocking out parts of the screen. All my buttons are showing, my buffs are showing, you can see my inventory. So there's all the relevant information. Now to get to something a little bit more tricky. Health, mana. Now, squares are easy because you could just click on this square tool and then you highlight it and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. But for these nice round or curved edges, you're going to want to either get your scissors or your free select. I'm very particular. I like to use the free select because I think it gives me more control. Because with the free select, you just click, and then you drag and click, and click, and click, and click, and click, and yes, I know it's very tedious, and click, and click, and click, click, and click. But you know, I think it'll give you a better, more finished result in the long run. And click, and click, and click, and you know what? I think I'm gonna leave the gargoyle in because why not? He looks pretty badass. Let's keep him in there. Click, 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 click. Come down here. Click, click, click. So there. Now that area is highlighted. Gotta hit delete. And let's show our template. So now our template actually shows our mana globe and the accompanying gargoyle. That's pretty sweet. Let's do it again for the other side, just so that you, once again, get this down. Once again, I got my lasso tool, and we're gonna click, click, click. And I'm kind of hurrying through this just because you know, this is just for demonstration. It's not actually going to be my overlay. But yeah, well, you know what? It might. I mean, shit, I'm doing all the work. I might as well use it. Click, 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 click. Now, if I was really doing this, I would actually go around all of those little feathers, so it'd make it very, very exact. But I am not, so you know, take it for what you will. Working in there, hit delete, and there you go. So now our template shows health, mana, buttons, buffs, whatever, and you got some space over here where you can put something in, such as I don't know, highest donor, or your name, or whatever it is that you want. A lot of people display, like if you see on my screen, a lot of people display their you know, their channel name, their whatever. But see, you got space to write things there, to put in a graphic if you want, or you could just leave it blank and have a nice little thing. Something else you could do, like you could chop off these corners to give it a more, you know, polished look. Something I will recommend though, and it's so stupid easy to do, but I think it's important because it gives your stream a nice, you know, a nice refined look. Is when you're looking at your template, okay. When you look at your texture on top of the game, it looks kind of 2D and unpolished. So I found that it helps to just kind of go over everything, and you highlight it with your square box so that everything is nice, straight lines, and you grab your paintbrush and give it a black border, right? And that may not seem like a lot. It doesn't even have to be that thick. You know, it could be much thinner, or it can be whatever color border you want, honestly. But if you just put a border around the outside edges, I think it helps it look, you know, more, I don't know, presentable. But it's just that easy. You highlight the area as a rectangle, you grab your paintbrush, swipe it down a couple times, and then you just repeat the process all the way across the board. Okay? It's really, really simple. But even there, just look at this side compared to the other side, right? Like this looks like, you know, there's a separation from the border to the world. It's more, you know, it's better compared to this. All right, so there's that. That's how you do that. Now, what I would do at this point, because this template is ready for, to be exported, I would actually delete the screenshot. Just delete that layer so that this is all we have. It's just the picture, okay, of our template. And we're going to go to File, Export As, because right now the file that we're working on it's an XCF, which is it's a GIMP file for editing, okay? So in order to use that, we need to convert it to a PNG, all right? And the reason why it has to be a PNG is because if you save it as a JPEG or as a bitmap, it's not going to save that transparency in the background, and whenever you go to play, you'll just have a solid object blocking your screen, and that's no good. So we're going to save it D3 PNG, export, yeah, because that's the screenshot. I really don't care. And then you're going to get this screen here. This screen, you want to make sure you save the resolution. Save the background color. Like honestly, like make sure it's just set up like mine. You should. This is the default, I believe, and you shouldn't really have any problems. Then you hit export. It's gonna load, and then you see there it is on my desktop. And we'll go ahead and we'll close everything out. Okay. Now at this point, in order to get that into your game, what you have to do is load up OBS, and you know, I already have everything set here, so we're just for the sake of demonstration, we're gonna start all over. Here's a new scene. Okay, can't see anything right now on that, but that's fine. And we're gonna go, you know, window capture. Yeah, there's no, not OneNote, not window capture. I'm dumb. Shut up. Add monitor capture. There we go. Okay, so there's a monitor, and then we're gonna add image. And that image is going to be the one right here on the desktop, T3 screenshot, because that is, see, there's our template, okay? And then we're going to load up our Diablo 3, and hopefully everything will line up and I won't look like a jackass. Maybe. Give us 1 second. It takes a while. Now you see it's just kind of there during load screens, and that's, you know, kind of the downside of using these things is that, you know, until you're actually in the game and in the part that the thing was made for, they kind of look out of place. But there it is. Bada bing. Now this is the actual game, and you see it's not perfect because I didn't you know, I didn't do it perfectly. This is just an example, but you know, you can see me clicking on these things. You can see the cooldowns whenever they go up. And you can see my buffs here on the bar. And you can even see tooltips, whatever. Everything is correct. And then you can, you know, write stuff on here. And whatever. There's your overlay. Okay? And this can be as complicated or as easy as you want it to be. Alright, let's go ahead and close that out. Exit that, and we'll go back to my main display. Something else I want to show you is, you know, this is more about OBS if you don't already know. That was this right here. There's our overlay. You could even name that like Diablo 3 or something. I'm going to remove it because I already have a Diablo 3 scene, but ta-da, there we go. Alright. Now, I promised you that I was going to show you 2 different ways to make those overlays. For this one, it's very easy. 1920, 1080 again. Always make sure that you're working in the right resolution. No, discard it. I don't need it. And you want to open, and you want to find your template. There it is. There's my. Oh, get that out of here. You want to open your template, and you're going to need your toolbox and your layers again. I don't know why I closed those. And what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to cut out a section that's, you know, square, rectangular, whatever. And this is, you know, I'm showing you how to make what I did. We're going to open this up, and just like last time, we're going to go new layer, okay, you know, merge it down, okay, and then we're going to go to image, crop to selection, okay, and there is our image. All right, and then you can take this and you can cut out a section of it. Maybe not like that. You can cut out a section of it, you know, so that you can have a place for your name at the top, and then you can put your camera down here or whatever. And then, just like before, maybe put a border around it. Obviously, you can look at my picture and see that I did. And then you can add some more at the bottom if you want your information displayed. That's all I did. It's really simple. Hopefully, you find this information useful. I hope I didn't ramble on for too long, and that you find this information or this video at least digestible. But I'm Daddy Warbucks. If this helped you, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and peace.